You Me at 6.
You Me at 6 are a British rock band from Weybridge, Surrey. Formed in 2004, the group rose to fame in 2008 with the success of their debut album, Take Off Your Colours, which included the singles Save It for the Bedroom, Finders Keepers, and Kiss and Tell, with the latter two peaking at number 33 and number 42 respectively in the official UK singles chart. The band's main influences include American rock bands Blink-182, Incubus and Thrice.
History.
In the early days of You Me at 6 they released two extended plays We Know What It Means to Be Alone and Entitled. Tracks such as Gossip and The Rumour were born on this EP. Joe Phillips was also kicked out of the band and was replaced by Dan Flint just before the release of the first album. They were nominated for Best British Band at the 2008, 2009 and 2010 Kerrang! Awards, losing each time to metalcore band Bullet for My Valentine. However, they won the title for Best British Band in 2011. The band released their second studio album, titled Hold Me Down on January 11, 2010, which reached number 5 in the UK. This album included the popular singles Underdog, which reached number 49 in the UK, and Liquid Confidence, which peaked at number 86. The band released the third official single from the album, Stay With Me, on September 5, 2010, which peaked at number 53. The band also released a single titled Rescue Me on February 14, 2011, which features American alternative hip-hop act Kiddy Bang. The band also made an announcement that they would be heading back to the studio in early February-March 2011 in preparation to record their third album, Sinners Never Sleep, which was released in the UK on October 3, 2011. Following the completion of their third album cycle, which culminated in the final night of Sin at Wembley Arena, the band went back in the studio to record studio album number 4 Cavalier Youth, which was released on January 24, 2014.
Take Off Your Colours.
You Me at 6 debut album Take Off Your Colours was released through Slam Dunk Records on October 8, 2008. It spawned debut single Save It for the Bedroom, If I Were in Your Shoes, Gossip, Jealous Minds Think Alike, Finders Keepers, and Kiss and Tell. In September, You Me at 6 released a deluxe version of the album with a bonus disc featuring singles Finders Keepers, and Kiss and Tell, along with B-sides Sweet Feet, All Your Fault, and Blue Eyes Don't Lie. You Me at 6 covered Lady Gaga's Poker Face as a live lounge cover, which became a B-side on the Kiss and Tell single. The band were a supporting act for Fall Out Boy in late 2008.
Hold Me Down.
On November 11, 2009, lead singer Josh Francis announced that their second album was completed, and would be released in early 2010. AbsolutePunk.net later announced the album would be titled Hold Me Down and would be released through Virgin Records on January 11, 2010. The band then announced shortly afterwards that they would be making the song, The Consequence, available for free digital download from their official website. The album was recorded at Outhouse Studios in Reading, produced and engineered by Matt O'Grady and mixed by John Mitchell, as was their previous record Take Off Your Colours. The album debuted at number 5 in the UK album charts, however it managed to hit number 4 for the midweek charts. Later, the band announced that the first official new single from Hold Me Down is titled Underdog. The song was later made available for free streaming on the band's MySpace site. On January 28, the band announced that they would be releasing an iTunes exclusive bundle, including the second follow-up single of their new album Hold Me Down, Underdog, which precedes The Consequence. The Underdog EP would also include an acoustic version of the track, and an all-new B-side titled Factastic. On July 14, 2010, the band announced the third single from the second album Hold Me Down, titled Stay With Me. On July 21, the band released the music video for the single on their official website, and was made available later on iTunes and the band's YouTube channel. The video was shot on location in California before they headed out for the Warped Tour 2010. It was also confirmed that the band would be releasing an official iTunes single bundle for Stay With Me. The bundle, which would be made available on iTunes, includes an acoustic version of Stay With Me, along with a cover of the track Starry-Eyed by Ellie Goulding, on which the band first performed at the Radio 1 Live Lounge in May.
Rescue Me.
In late 2010, You Me at 6 collaborated with American rap duo Kiddy Bang on a track titled Rescue Me, and was later released on February 14, 2011. The singles package included an exclusive B-side track Knew It Was You, which was written back in the old Hold Me Down days. However, it was later confirmed that the track would not be featuring on the band's upcoming third studio album, Sinners Never Sleep.
Sinners Never Sleep.
On December 15, 2010, the band was interviewed by Cup Domain magazine regarding the progress of their upcoming third studio album. The album was said to be set for a September 2011 release. On April 8, 2011, a video was uploaded to TUMBLR confirming that Oli Sykes was recording with the band on their upcoming third album at Sound Factory Studio, Los Angeles. Sinners Never Sleep was released on October 3, and peaked at number 3 in the official UK album charts. In early November, the band announced that Bite My Tongue featuring Oliver Sykes would be released as a new single. The official music video, which also stars Sykes, was released soon after. The single was released on December 4, 2011. The band scheduled plans on touring parts of Southeast Asia and Europe, including countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore and Japan in mid-2012. In March 2012, the band announced that the third single off the album would be No One Does It Better, despite the single artwork for Jaws on the Floor having been leaked in late February. The single would be released along with 2 additional tracks titled Over Us and Retain, and be released as a single bundle through Virgin Records in April. The band announced in March 2012 that they had recorded a new song for The Swarm, A Ride at Thorpe Park, which will be Europe's tallest winged roller coaster. The song was released to iTunes on March 18, 2012 and is the world's first single for a roller coaster.
Cavalier Youth.
In June 2013, the band announced they will be entering a recording studio at a secret location to record their new upcoming album. Pre-production began on June 21, 2013. In July and August 2013, the band announced they will be recording their album in Los Angeles, California with producer Neil Everin, Fall Out Boy, Linkin Park, Say Anything. On September 2, 2013, the band announced and premiered the first single to be off the new record, titled Lived a Lie. The album was also revealed to be titled Cavalier Youth. The album would contain 12 tracks, including an interlude track. The music video to Lived a Lie was made available to the world on the band's Vevo channel, and UK fans can download the new track on iTunes shortly after. On January 28, 2014, the album was officially released.
Tours and show dates 2010 to 2012.
You Me at 6 kicked off their year playing a launch show in Kingston. Originally intended to be an in-store gig at Banquet Records, it was quickly upgraded to the new Hippodrome, in support of their new album Hold Me Down on January 11. As of February they have played 3 dates, including, also, an HMV in-store and an HMV event headline promoting new British music at the Relentless Garage London. They announced that they would be playing several festivals including Punk Spring in Japan, the whole Vans Warped Tour, and supported Paramore on all Soundwave dates, as well as on Paramore's tour. They have completed their third sellout headline tour in support of their second album Hold Me Down. They were joined by Sean Smith and Alyssa Francini on selected dates. In Belfast, Matt told GiggingNI.com how it was exciting to see how much you've grown from a year and a half ago. It was announced on their Leeds leg of the tour on March 16 that You Me at 6 would be returning to Leeds and playing the festival. In August 2010, the band performed on the main stage at the Leeds and Reading festivals. The band also did a Reading and Leeds warm-up gig at Wedgwood Rooms in Portsmouth in August. On May 18, 2010, You Me at 6 visited BBC Radio 1's Live Lounge for the second time, presented by Finn Cotton. Aside from being interviewed, they played a version of Liquid Confidence, and a cover of Ellie Goulding's Starry-Eyed at Maida Vale, in London Live on Air. On May 23, 2010, they played the In New Music We Trust stage at the Radio 1 Big Weekend in Bangor, North Wales. They were joined on stage by Sean Smith for The Consequence, and Al Phillips on Save It for the Bedroom. On December 3, 2010, the band posted an announcement on their official website stating, "Both the band and YMA's headquarters are extremely disappointed to announce that due to the inclement weather and transport issues, the two You Me at 6 shows at the Edinburgh Corn Exchange this weekend will be postponed, and that it's just not safe for the band or the attending fans to travel over to the show." You Me at 6 has also made a reschedule of both the dates and an exchange fund of the tickets bought earlier. During the first Edinburgh show, Josh Francis announced that the band would be playing at Tea in the Park. On February 21, 2011, the band announced that they would be touring with Parkway Drive, Leading Through, Confession and More on the Mix and Mash tour in May. On April 16, 2011, Blink-182 announced that their headlining tour would be delayed till 2012 due to the fact that they have not finished recording for the new album yet. As a result, You Me at 6 will not be touring with them. Upcoming tour dates for the UK in September will be released on June 15, and the band have announced that they will be touring Australia with We the Kings in late August-early September. On July 10, 2011, the band announced headlining US tour dates for October 2011 to promote the release of their third studio album. On August 29, 2011, the fourth track of The Sinners Never Sleep, This Is the First Thing was leaked online by one of the Inside recording team member back in Los Angeles while the band was tracking their vocals. On September 1, 2011, a 30-second snippet of the track from the record Bite My Tongue featuring Oli Sykes was leaked on the internet as well. It was removed 30 minutes later due to infringement and copyrighted issues. The band's next UK tour started in March 2012. The first two tour dates, which were supposed to be played in Belfast and Dublin, were postponed due to Josh Francis contracting tonsillitis and being unable to perform. The dates were rescheduled to take place in early April. You Me at 6 played the entire Warped Tour 2012.
Clothing lines.
The band's bassist Matt Barnes owns a clothing line range called Cheer Up Clothing, which was first formed in late 2007. The clothing line sponsors several artists and bands including 4 Year Strong, Ema Rosa, The All-American Rejects, Versa Emerge, and We Are the In Crowd amongst others. The band's frontman Josh Francis himself also owns a clothing range, Down But Not Out. Francis himself expressed that the phrase, "down but not out," has been my ethos, my way of approaching life for the last 2 years or so, and have always wanted to start some sort of clothing company to express myself through a means other than music. The clothing line models feature several of the band's members as well. In summer 2011, the band's rhythm guitarist Max Hellier started up his own clothing range called Become Antique.
Cover versions.
Starry-Eyed Ellie Goulding cover in Radio 1 Live Lounge, Stay With Me single, Poker Face Lady Gaga cover in Radio 1 Live Lounge, Kiss and Tell single, Sugar, We're Going Down Fall Out Boy cover recorded for B-side, Finders Keepers single, Foo Fighters medley, All My Life, Bridge Burning, Best of You Foo Fighters Live Lounge cover, released through Bite My Tongue EP, Paradise Coldplay cover on Triple J. Domino Jessie J cover in Radio 1 Live Lounge, Wake Me Up Avocet cover in Radio 1 Live Lounge.
Band members.
Josh Francis, lead vocals, since 2004, Max Hellier, rhythm guitar, backing vocals, since 2004, Chris Miller, lead guitar, since 2004, Matt Barnes, bass guitar, since 2004, Dan Flint, drums, percussion, sampling, since 2007, Luke Rendell, additional guitar, backing vocals, Joe Phillips, drums, percussion, 2004 to 2007.
Discography.
Take Off Your Colors, 2008, Hold Me Down, 2010, Sinners Never Sleep, 2011, Cavalier Youth, 2014.
Music videos.